Meanwhile, we're back in the kitchen with Allie, who has the perfect snack for the whole family. You guys are going to love this.
So good.
It's almond butter chocolate snack bars. Allie, these look delicious. And they are nutritious.
They are. They're pretty good for you.
Nutritious.
Yes. A good sweet treat.
Joining Cam on the counter, Paigey and Shirley, you guys dig in.
Yes.
right.
And I know you'll appreciate this, Cam.
Yes.
Because these are sort of based on the traditional granola bar that we used to eat growing up that may not have been the best for us because perhaps it had some ingredients in there that we could not pronounce. But they were delicious.
Yes, and think about all those preservatives. They're on the shelf for so long.
Yep.
These will be good in the fridge a lot less than that because they're much better for you.
And we know what's going in there.
Exactly. You can control how much sugar goes in. You can control, exactly what ingredients. If your kid has an allergy, you can swap things out. So yes, you can control, and they're pretty good for you.
So they start with some almond butter, brown sugar, and butter?
Yeah, so it's almond butter, a little bit of regular butter,
Okay.
some brown sugar, a little bit of honey, and a little bit of salt.
Okay.
So we're just gonna heat that up on the stove till it's all mixed together.
Okay.
Then you're gonna take it off of the heat, and you're just gonna add a little bit of vanilla extract, like so. Mix that up. Oh my gosh, smell this. How good does that smell?
Oh my God.
Yummy. Okay, so then.
So good.
It tastes so good.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, good, good. I'm glad you guys like it. So then we're gonna take this, and this is our dry mixture. So all that's
Okay.
in here is some chocolate rice cereal, some sliced almonds, and some oats.
Okay.
And you can, again, if you don't like almonds, you can switch out the nut. If there's a peanut allergy, you could take the almond butter out of this and the nuts out of
just
here.
use butter?
Exactly, and just
And if
use
you don't
butter.
want the chocolate rice cereal, you can do the regular rice cereal.
Absolutely, you can mix it
Right.
up however you choose. So then we're just gonna mix this. Oh, it's getting in
Oh,
there.
it's going to get sticky, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's gonna get very sticky.
Okay,
so let's
yeah,
just
just
put
pour
this
that
all
in there.
here. And mix it all up. Here.
Get all of that, get that
All this
gooiness
goodness.
at the top. Yeah,
Oh my
don't let
gosh.
any of that go.
If this wasn't so hot, I could just
I
eat
would
this
lick it,
right
I
out of
know.
here. It smells so, so good. Okay, so we're gonna mix this up, the sticky and the dry ingredients, like so. Okay, it kind of takes a minute. You gotta really get into it, make sure all the pieces get coated. Get your hands in
Yeah, there you go. I was going to
Get
say.
dirty.
And this is where it gets tricky, though. I know that you had said one of the main things you do here. I'll do it for you since you already
Yes.
did it. Ready? Do I have to spray your hands?
Yeah. Well, first, before you do that, we're gonna put
Okay.
the chocolate chips
Okay,
in.
I'll
But I
do
like
that.
that you're excited about that part of the step. So now we add the chocolate chips, and the reason we're waiting to add them until this part is if we had added them right when we put in the hot mixture, they would have just melted right in, and you
Right.
don't want that to happen because you want the
tip.
chocolate chips to keep their integrity in the bar. So as you see, we have it all mixed up now, and we're gonna transfer it into our pan over here. Just line
Okay.
it right like with parchment paper, and then spray the parchment paper with some oil.
You spray your hands too?
Yeah, so here comes that part. You spray your hands. I probably should have done it before I digged in there.
That's why I was doing
So
that.
you
It'll come off now, though.
Yes.
Can I just point out that the spray coconut oil, I love you for using that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so much better than spray, most of the
Absolutely.
spray, like
100%.
Again,
some of the
you
other
can
substitutes.
control what you're using.
Now, here's where it comes in handy. Go
So
ahead,
the
Alex,
reason
show
that you
them.
spray your hands, because if you see my hand right up here, I don't know if we can get a shot of this. If you see my hand right here, see how it's all stuck to my fingers from like mixing it together? If I had sprayed my hands before, it wouldn't have stuck to my
great tip.
hands that much. So if you
Yeah.
spray your hands when you go to pat it into the pan like this,
And by the way, it's great for your moisturizer for
It
your
is.
cuticles anyway. I mean, coconut oil is great for you.
I spray both sides.
I
top
made
and bottom.
body butters with Cameron on the show
Yeah,
like
you
last
know.
week.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
remember there was coconut oil
That's
in it.
exactly right.
Yes,
Oh my
you can
God.
use it for so many things. So
you go.
yes, once we set it like this, you're just gonna set it aside for a couple hours.
Okay.
You could put it in the fridge, but if you put it in the fridge and it gets too hard, when you go to cut it, it could just crumble and fall apart. So you don't want it to set too much. So it's
Okay.
room temperature. Thank you so much. Set it aside for a couple hours. Then once a couple hours has passed, it will be firm enough, but not too firm that you can cut it. So I just cut them into 1 inch by 4 inch pieces. So it's like a standard granola bar size.
You can eat it like that, really.
Yeah, and also my daughter right now, Molly, is obsessed with shapes. So I'll like cut little hearts out for her, little
That's a
snowmen
great idea.
or anything like that. So you can do that too. Like she'll eat anything, like any kind of vegetable, anything if I cut it into a shape.
That's
Like anything. So
That's a
You
good
said
trick.
these don't have quite the shelf life that obviously the ones that you buy in the
Yes.
store that we grew up with a little bit. But how would you store these if you wanted to keep them for a little while? Because I'm thinking these would be great for travel snacks,
100%.
golf
Hiking.
course snacks,
Yeah.
hiking, yeah, all of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Running out the door and you want your kids haven't eaten and you're like, they have to have something. They'll store in the fridge for about a week. You could
Okay.
freeze them and they'll store longer. I recommend wrapping them individually in reusable bags if you can
Great.
to help the environment. And then putting them in the fridge fridge. That way you can just grab the little bag while you're
And
on your
go.
way out the door and go.
Yep.
So they're great just like this. You don't even need to add the additional chocolate, but if you're gonna have this as like a sweet treat opposed to a like healthier treat, you know, kind of like a dessert, I melt some chocolate and you wanna put in a little bit of coconut oil. And the reason for that is that it helps the chocolate firm up.
Oh,
So melt chocolate and a
so
little
it makes
bit
like that magic shell.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you do like candy melts where it would firm up on its own. So all you do is that. You just put a little bit of chocolate on the bottom and then on a tray with some parchment paper so it doesn't stick, line them up. And then after you do this, if you want to like make them a little bit cuter, even if you want to like give them to people, you can even wrap them up, bring them to your neighbors for a little gift. You can just drizzle a little, if you can see, chocolate on top.
It does look very fancy.
You guys, I am fancy.
I love that about you.
I'm very impressed with it.
Yes.
And then they go in the fridge, though, right?
Yes, so we're gonna put these in the fridge just so the chocolate can firm up quicker. Thank you, Debbie.
Of course.
And then here we go. Whoa!
Nicely
Let me move
done.
these out of the way.
Thank you so much.
So we can taste
And we're
those.
done. That's it.
We're finished. Finito.
And honestly, so the chocolate's firmed up, but if you have a little leftover
Well, why
melted
not?
chocolate, just
Why not?
I mean,
It's like a
cheers.
side
Have a taste. As always, this recipe will be at hallmarkchannel.com.